Let's kick it old school!
Yeah, boy!
Old school essentials. The further adventures of the Thunderous Fury.
Last time after the bard's ill-advised attempt to kiss a hag, oh boy, bad breath there, the hag fulfilled her bargain by taking us back to the real world, but unfortunately, she gave the bargain knowing that she wanted to go after the dream dragon. We were just in the way, as it were, for her plans. So, of course, the dragon is greatly disturbed by the hag, and the hag starts out by using her evil wiles to take over the characters, or indeed Zophon and Clintock are taken down by the hag's mind magic and are turned to her side. Orion, of course, is not turned, but is still being feted as a preferred boyfriend of the hag and is not immediately involved.
Primary suitor.
Primary suitor. There you go. The hag commands her people to attack the dragon, and indeed the enthralled characters do, and shortly thereafter a couple of her goblin minions come out of her hut, which still has the gate to fairy, and attack the dragon themselves. There is much back and forth as Clintock attempts to get a back strike on the hag and ends up lighting the hut as a distraction while the goblins charge. And unfortunately, the hag reveals her second goal, which is to kidnap Remy, which of course we cannot allow for many, many reasons. Karn, because of course kidnapping women is against the will of Cuthbert. Orion, because, well, you know, you don't take other women off the board for a part. You just don't. In any case, so Orion turns on the hag and dumps oil on her and lights her own fire, which unfortunately, along with the fire lit by Clintock, starts destroying the hut and the gate to fairy. But the hag manages to grab Orion and drag him into fairy, realizing that her gate is not going to last long. But Karn once again steps up and saves the day, charges into fairy, attacks the hag, and drags Orion back out, saving him. But unfortunately, that still leaves two others in the company of the hag. And the gate closes, and we are back with the dragon, down two of our members, lost half of our party in a single engagement. Oh, how terrible. So, of course, Karn cannot allow the party to be split and our valiant companions to be molested by the hag. And the dragon agrees to help us. He will send us to fairy. He will protect those already here from the hag's terrible mind magics, but that is all that he will do, for he must also protect his own. The process of getting to fairy involves a strange costume, for apparently it's going to be not a fight, but a dance-off. So Remy and Orion end up in dance costumes while the others prepare in their own way, and the dream dragon gifts us with minor magics to help us. So, indeed, when we pop into fairy, we end up in a dance hall with a bunch of fae and the hag back in her female human form escorting our two party members as her gentlemen of the evening. Obviously, they're still enthralled, or no one would kiss a hag knowingly. Right? Our party initially decides to take it slowly and subtly and infiltrate the crowd. And indeed, Orion and Remy are on the dance floor, and Clintock decides to take his dancing shoes out and whirl through the crowd himself, while Basil goes around the back looking for a good shot and a good place to cause confusion and chaos, of course. It does not last long. Combat erupts. Clintock lights the curtain on fire and causes a stampede. Felix managed to dashingly cut in and cut one of our party members out while the other one was freed by the bard. Charming music, but unfortunately, the hag didn't care and grabbed him back anyway. Karn discovers that he cannot use a whip because he manages to break it in the middle of combat by attempting to use it. We discover that the other hags are there, so we're up against a full coven. Unfortunately, everybody manages to slip them, including Clintock, who at the last minute actually attempts to manacle the hag. The hag manacles him instead, and he manages to slip out anyway. I mean, talk about a slippery character. But of course, once again, Karn saves the day, for he is the last one to barrel through the opening to Fae with two of the people, two of our party that he has rescued. So, man, Karn is very much being the hero of the moment, playing the paladin to the hill. And that's where it ends up.
Basil and Zofan failed. So Basil was the one that was trying to shoot at the dragon and kept hitting the Dream Dragon's bubbles and bursting them, dropping treasure.
Right, dropping treasure. See, that was his subconscious rebelling. You know? He wants treasure, not
Sorry.
dragon fighting.
Sorry to burst your bubble, or not.
Or not.
Yeah.
And Zofan was what? He was on the hag side and then got turned to your side and then turned back.
Yeah, he was triple charmed.
And don't forget all the critical rolls from the DM, critical hits.
Yeah, there was had a good streak going.
Well, again, even the critical misses were like impressive because, Karn breaking the whip in the middle of the dance floor. I'm sorry, paladins shouldn't be whipping hags. Apparently. And then what was it? Right. Who did the back and forth with the manacles? Let's see.
That was Clintock.
Yeah, that was Clintock. Yeah.
That was Clintock, right. I'll manacle her. Critical fail. No, she'll manacle me. 20. Click. Then he manages to slip out in a single round. Tricky bastard. Oh, yes. And of course, the real fun is our girlfriends promised to look us up later.
You guys head back through the portal that was in the closet of this dance hall, and it vanishes, and you are back in the cavern with the Dream Dragon. So you're all back. Some in rough shape. I think somebody got thrown. Somebody got thrown through there. Didn't Karn toss somebody through? Was it Basil or?
I think it was the other Basil, not Basil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just took them and chucked them through. Basil Wilberforce was in bad shape, but Karn was down to like 3 hit points, I think.
Yes. Yeah. He was hurting.
Orion was down to 3 hit points too. The hags dragged him just really badly.
I think Zofan has got a concussion and blood loss, and Orion has got a concussion. Other than that,
blood loss for a couple of days.
Okay, yeah. Is that gone yet, or does he still have it?
He was limited to 3 hit points for 3 days, -4 to all rolls.
Okay, so he picked it up again.
Yeah, he picked it up again.
Okay, so
Hags. It was when he got that because he got dropped to 0 hit points.
Yep. Okay, that's right. So you're all in very rough shape. The Dream Dragon is happy to see you have returned, and with your party members, he will let you take a dip in the mineral pool for about an hour or two. But after that, he is sending you and Remy back. He is going to open up a bubble for you to go in and send you all back to Klinkville, where Remy was studying Remy hears this and is not happy at all. She is very upset. And he excuses all of you so he can have a private conversation with her to explain. He basically says to you guys that he can't stay here. It's too dangerous for him. And you can see the large like goiter growing on his neck, and his like it's turned all black. Of course, it has that issue from the fight that he has to deal with. Getting in the pool, you get 1 hit point per turn. You guys, if you guys are here 2 hours, you can get up to 12 hit points if you get in the pool.
Which takes me to
Oh,
max
yeah.
of
What is the I don't have it listed. The ramifications of blood loss. Like I have concussed, but is like blood loss like have like something other than like negative modifiers to rolls?
Blood loss the first day, you're -4 to everything, and the remaining days, you're -1. If you're
So-
concussed, the first day you're -4. It goes down to -2 for half of the remaining days, and the last half is -1.
How many days does blood loss last?
I think you have it for 6 days.
And do those stack?
Both things are separate.
Okay.
So about an hour passes, and Remy comes out very, very upset and walks past you guys to go to her room that you have seen. I guess all of you would have gotten in the pool, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Sort of
Ba-
needed it.
Basil wouldn't have. Basil seemingly seemed to escape
Okay.
utter ruin.
Yeah, Basil Wilberforce came out the second encounter with no damage too. Even with the potion of heroism. If I remember right. I didn't mark it down for him.
So Basil and Basil are okay, and everybody else is cut up.
Karn walks through that portal and he just like starts heading towards the spring, and he's stripping off armor as he's going. He's like,
Okay.
oh.
So- All right, so Karn, you are in that the mineral pool. So there's like a bright orange and yellow light that comes from like this mineral pool. Give me a D6 roll.
Great.
However long you need to stay in there passes. You don't really doze off. You are awake the entire time. Maybe you never actually fall asleep. But you are definitely restored. However many hit points for those 2 hours.
He gets thanks to Cuthbert while he's in there.
Yes. Let's see. Zofan, is Zofan getting in there?
Yeah. Zofan was limping in there.
Okay.
He only has 7 hit points. So he's fully back to full in in a little over an hour. But
Okay.
he's gonna stay as long as he can because it's nice before the Dream Dragon will kick him out.
So give me a D6 roll.
6.
It's fairly peaceful in here. As you're resting and restoring your injuries. Again, you really don't, fall asleep or doze off at any point in time. Okay,
Orion's
Orion.
going to be in the pool too.
Okay, give me a D6 roll.
Avon.
So Orion, you're in there in this like orange and yellow glow of the mineral pool, sitting in there, resting, and you look into the water, and for a second, you can kind of see your reflection in the water, and you can see someone behind you. Looks like they have dark hair and like there's a streak in it. And if you turn and look, and there's just nobody there, and then you look back in the water and it's gone.
Is there anybody that we know by that description?
It was definitely a woman.
The brunette hag, did she have a streak in her hair or not?
The blonde-haired hag had a gray silver streak in her hair.
But not the brunette, okay.
Correct.
Okay, well, I'm just going to put it down to, hallucinating. He's been through a lot. Ate some strange things, definitely hung around some strange people.
Some very strange people.
2 hours have passed. Remy, you can hear the scraping noise, and Remy is coming down the hall dragging a bunch of like luggage and stuff, and she's like pulling everything behind her. She's got it all like strapped together. She's got like 6 boxes of like various luggage, and she looks really pissed.
She's not traveling light.
No.
Basil will go see her obviously struggling. Can I help you with that? I've got an arm made for this.
She's like, yes, I have to pack everything and leave. Yes, you can help me. There's some more boxes and various things back in my room.
Brother, will you go get her boxes?
Okay, brother. I always like to help the hot mamas.
Oh God. Yeah, that is him.
Don't listen to my brother. He's just trying to impress you. And his left arm is impressive. That's for sure.
Possibly failing miserably.
So you seem upset. Do you need help improving your workout regimen?
What work? I mean, I've never thought of a workout regimen right now. This has been very stressful. I didn't anticipate to leave here with my research not done, but Charlie says he has to leave. He cannot stay here. And he is telling me to leave. And I don't want to go, but.
Well, what are you going to do when you go back?
Well, I'm going to get my research, turn out what I have of my research in. I think it's enough to get published. And I have a new mission now.
Yeah? What's your new mission?
I'm going to find out what can cure his ailment. You saw that big goiter on his neck.
Yeah, it was really gross. It looks like some form of herpes.
Yes, well,
I reach over and smack Basil upside the head.
Oh,
I mean,
did you start working out?
Remy, that's the slime. That's the remnant of the slime cultist. That's the stuff they drink to attempt to turn into an immortal slime. The temple that was near the other entrance to the Underdark there. I mean, I think somebody else has a sample. If anybody wants to own up to it, that would probably be pretty critical to actually diagnosing it, but I don't have a sample.
oh, that would really help a lot. When we're in Klinkville, I know someone. I can probably go I'll definitely go to the university to do some research, but Charlie's done too much for me. I'm not going to let him suffer like that. He said he'd be fine, but I don't believe him.
All the slime cultists that we encountered are dead, but their area that they had turned into a temple and workrooms and living quarters is still down here. So it might be worth coming back at some point.
Maybe. Well, make sure you collect all your things, and I have these two fine hulking gentlemen will help me with the rest of my research and my wardrobes. And I will return back to Klinkville, unfortunately. But I am on a new mission now, so.
Just don't forget to stick to your training plan, which sounds like it doesn't do any of the right stuff, but is focused on research. But as my gun can attest, if you stick with the training plan, you will see results. So stick to your plan.
Or, swing your sword every day. Great way to train the muscles.
All right. We should be able to rig up. I mean, instead of just haul and drag, we should be able to rig up a travois. You know what that is? Basically, two sticks, and you drag the back part of it drags the ground, so it's still dragging, but the front people lift the sticks on the front part and put goods across the two sticks. And so all you need is like a couple of planks and some rope and a couple of and a couple of poles, and you can get a travois and not have to, carry everything or drag everything.
Yeah, you can find enough broken pieces and stuff in Charlie's room or use pieces of her old furniture that she didn't take to do that.
Oh, yeah, busting up her furniture is going to make her real happy. Oh, yeah, that'll work. Crunch, rip.
Eyeball and Pincher are going to stay here because the rest of their group is here in part of the temple, so they will bid you adieu here.
You have been boon companions indeed.
Well, we owe you a lot for saving us and for your training regiment as well.
Basil starts tearing up. Stick to the plan. You will see results. And let me know if you see any tournaments down here.
We will. If we don't see one, we will start one.
I hope to compete one day and take gold.
We hope to see you again. So if anybody's got anything else, you enter the room with all those bubbles, and Charlie is in there, and he opens up a big bubble out of his horn that kind of floats into the room for all of you to walk into.
Last time we walked into one of these, I ran into some hags.
I can assure you this time, it is Klinkville.
Well, here's to Klinkville.
Onward.
All right. So you guys enter the bubble, and the first thing that as you walk in, you can smell the salt air of the ocean, and you can hear the waves. And you're on a beach, as like the whole scene kind of melts around you, and now you can see that there is this large mansion, castle, something. It's got all sorts of different architecture on it, Roman, Greek, whatever it is, all mashed together. It looks very obscene to a discriminating eye. It's hideous, but it dwarfs. It is right here on the beach. You can hear the ocean crashing behind you. And as you kind of take stock or like come to your senses, you look up and you see 4 guards on like a balcony with spears, like looking down at you. And they are in like leather armor. They've got some kind of livery on them that you can see that's got like some drinking glasses and like some food and like the masks for like art, the 2 masks, the smiling, laughing masks. And there's 4 of them standing down there, and one goes, "I just saw them just show up. What are you doing here?"
We came to spread the word of Cuthbert.
No. We're weary and we're looking for safe passage and a room.
Okay. My character knows this, but Russell doesn't. Who's the person who told us to get hold of Remy?
Ox is the leader. Ox would have told you, hey, he's the leader of the Thunderous Fury, yes.
But no, sorry, not our direct boss, but who we contracted to. Her father?
Yeah,
father?
So Ox believed that her father would probably pay some money to for her to be returned.
Okay, and so her father what's the title of her father? Like,
he's a noble. That's all. All Ox knows is that he's probably got money, so he's probably a noble.
Okay, so I really don't know enough to shame him with noble. I will put my arm around Karn and say, what the glorious paladin means is we're returning a noble daughter to her father meet Remy, and I think I did catch her last name, but I can't remember it. See, it wasn't Remy, it was Grenadine, was it?
Her
Yeah,
name
Remy-
is Gremdillion Remnoska.
Yeah, you would know
You'll
that.
have to
So
spell
yeah,
that.
so yeah, she kind of slumps forward, dejected, just kind of looks at them, and they're like confused because they heard Cuthbert and then they heard something about this girl, and then you hear a voice from the back, like on the balcony, someone say the missing girl, and a man, very slender, in a puffy shirt, human, comes forward and says, oh, well, that looks like the missing noble's girl down there. And who are you?
We're the valiant team from the Thunderous Fury who rescued her.
Rescued? Oh, this is wondrous. I what? How fortunate that you were to fall on my doorstep just this day. Oh, and as he's looking over the motley crew down there, he notices Sextus, the ape that you had. Oh, my fellow ape friend, please come inside. There is an emissary waiting for you to take you to the Emperor immediately. Apologies. And in front of you, you see there's double doors, and they open, and the ape just kind of looks at you guys, disgusted, and he walks in.
I mean,
Okay.
what's the matter with him?
And then the doors close, and he's like, phew, oh my God, thank God we got rid of him. Great work, all my friends. Once he is gone, you may come in. I forgot to, I am the mayor of Klinkville, Cornelius Gumdrop. It is a pleasure to meet all of you. Are you
Well,
residents
it
of
is.
Klinkville and therefore voters? Perhaps.
I could be.
Well, that is something we shall drink over.
Can you do same day registration?
We will do immediately registration, my good man.
Then I think this is something to discuss, as you said, over drinks.
Yes, come in. Put down your weapons. They said something. He said something about Cuthbert. Who cares? Come on in. So the double doors opening up, and you walk on. It's like some kind of polished sandstone or whatever. It's really, really obscene and over the top. And you walk in, and it's like a marble hallway with all these pillars and these fine curtains. And as you're just walking down, you can hear him coming down the steps, pitter patter, all excited. And you guys are walking in, and the ocean breeze just kind of wafts through this castle manor, and on either side there are these curtains, and the curtains are kind of open, and there's people like in a room painting, or they're having a drink talking, or they're having like a buffet eating and playing music. I was so concerned about young Gremmy missing for such a long time. Her father was most worried. I was hoping she would return, but here she is, in our presence, of course. You have done an outstanding job for her father and for the city, if I do say.
Zophan, is he coming across as like overly friendly to Zophan?
Oh yeah, you don't need to roll. Oh, of course he is.
You seem very excited to finally have found Remy.
Very, very excited. Yes, it will go a long way in solidifying our standing here in Klinkville. There's a substantial reward that, of course, you shall partake in. I don't need to be compensated for such a thing, but you have done the work, I'm sure. Where was she exactly?
It's not important, But
Oh,
tell
of course
me,
it's not. Come on in. Yes,
if
continue.
I were going to vote for someone else, who would I be voting for?
Oh, what? Oh, you are a jokester, I see. Always full. Are you particularly of song or dance or
I'm for honest campaigns.
honest? Very good. I am very honest broker. It's very good to have an honest mayor. As Cornelius Gumdrop, I am very, very honest.
I can.
As so I've been told.
No, the
he-
bar
he-
wouldn't laugh, but it's like, yeah, yes, indeed, you're very. I can tell, indeed, you're a forthright soul.
So he leads you in. There's people like mingling. There's a lot of mingling going on and talking and whispering, and everybody's dressed really nice, and you guys are looking really rough, even with your mineral bath and carrying all your gear, and you've been in the Underdark, and you're covered with Underdark dust and slime and whatever. And he leads you into this large room that kind of drops down, and it's got a huge dome, and there's a buffet, and there looks like some kind of play going on, like people are reciting lines or something. And there's a shitload of candles, like there's candles everywhere, like somebody's handing out candles, they're all lighting candles. He's like, oh, don't mind, partake in the festivities here. We are preparing, of course, for the Festival of Light. As you know, it's coming up in just a few days. It's very important to the Emperor, you know, that we do this. So, you know, and somebody comes over and hands you a drink and a candle, and it's like, as you know, the Festival of Light, everybody lights a candle. So to keep the dark away, of course, you know, in these long nights we have.
Mayor Gumdrop, do you have a place that we can freshen up? We are hardly fit to show ourselves in front of your glamorous guests in our current.
Oh, no,
current
I
state.
mean, unless you, I mean, I'm sure that there are some fine establishments here in Klinkville that would gladly receive you and give you rest. But I mean, these are, as he puts his finger on your shoulder and wipes off a bunch of dust, he's like, that's honor there. You have rescued this young maiden who was obviously in peril. I wish to hear the story. I know it was told of no consequence, but I'm sure that I would like to hear it, at least where she was.
I think we best get her back to her family.
Oh yes, they are.
We can come back and tell you the story.
Most certainly, you could come back. Yes.
I'm afraid many of us were recently injured and are may not be the best of guests this time, but we would certainly be happy to come back and tell you all of our adventures.
Oh, there's nothing that a couple of drinks of wine won't cure, I'm sure. Perhaps a bottle.
Basil says, "Oh, wine, you say?
Oh
I
yes.
like wine.
Oh yes. Here, have a wine, and here is, of course, a candle.
Oh, a candle too." And he begins drinking the wine.
Oh yes.
Is it any good?
Yeah.
So
Oh
wait a
yeah.
minute.
This is top-notch stuff. And as soon as you get close to the bottom, somebody comes right up, right next to you, fills that sucker right back up again.
I'm going to take a little wine, but I'm really headed for the buffet if he's going to let us.
Yeah, there's
Because,
lots of
know,
seafood.
As long as it's a centipede and mushroom, from the Underdark, we're good.
No.
Corn asks if he has any water.
Oh yes, of course. The purist, blessed by our clerics, of course. Bring them forth, and he claps his hand, and somebody comes out of like a curtain, bringing in like an urn and starts filling up a big tankard and handing it to you.
So you support the lawful religions.
Oh, yes, of course. All religions are welcome here, even those. I mean, I'm not as exclusive as the Empire, but there's no reason to alienate eligible voters. Of course.
Of course, all bow to Cuthbert in the end. Do you perhaps have a chapel somewhere nearby to Cuthbert?
Oh, a chapel to Cuthbert. I believe that if you go to the rejuvenating bog in the temple district, there will be those of like mind.
Very well. I shall soon depart for there. After we see this daughter, of course, to her father. Safe.
Oh, yeah, a true man of Cuthbert, I say, a true man, making sure that his duties are done till the end, not assuming anything.
Oh, you've heard of his life
Yes.
then?
Oh, yes. Of course, I have heard a wicked rumor at one time that the apes did worship Cuthbert, but they turned away from him. But that's just between you and me. I wouldn't go spreading that around.
I understand what you mean. But at the end of our days, we all answer to Cuthbert.
Yes, we all answer to the ballot. The almighty ballot. But
I'm
yes,
sensing a theme here.
yes, set a spell, enjoy the festivities. You can watch the rehearsal of the play, have a wine drink bottle if you wish. I will send a messenger and contact your father. Bring him here instead of you having to trek through Klinkville and go to his place of business.
That would be a most kind gesture. Thank you very much. And I'll have a citizenship application while you're.
Very good.
sending
Yes.
people on the-
Citizen. He claps his hands. Somebody comes running out of a curtain with some paper, like a big stack of papers.
Look, I think it would probably be best if we returned her directly to her father. Since we did go through the effort, we might as well not let the last
leg see it through to the end. Yes, as your paladin friend has said.
I
Yes,
think that's the way of Cuthbert, as Zolfan looks over to Karn.
But I am being very presumptuous. I apologize for any insinuation that you could not make it the next leg of your trek. I will send a messenger to tell that messenger to return, and claps his hand and tells the messenger to go find the other messenger, tell him to come back.
Oh God.
So he's doing that, and one of the curtains opens, and a dwarven man walks through. You can tell that he is of some kind of town guard or something. He's got keys, and he's carrying weapons. He's got leather. He's wearing that livery on him, and he kind of gives a sideways look to the mayor, and the mayor's like, "Oh, I apologize. Important business. I apologize." And he walks over, and they have a brief discussion.
Wow, just when I thought I totally made up my mind about who I'm going to vote for in the upcoming election, Zolfan says, purposefully loud.
Oh, and who is that you?
Look, I'm afraid I'm concerned that if we allow the mayor to get between Remy and her father, between rather us and Remy and her father, that he's going to spin whatever tale is in favor of his campaign, which would be that he did all the hard work.
Good point.
So I think it would be best if we delivered the message ourselves.
Certain Karn has no objections to following through on his full duty to the end. So good point. This guy is like watching a windsock. Wind blows, wind blows, wind blows, wind blows, wind blows, wind blows.
Yeah.
Where the hell is he getting the money for all of this? Don't answer that. I don't want to know.
Yes, as
right.
Zolfan's like stuffing his some crawdads in his mouth. We should get out of here as soon as possible. Before this wine is filled up again.
All right, so we in accord here. At least we need to get out of here and get fulfill our final duty so that we can then go do what the heck we want?
The cup that the wine came in, does it seem to be valuable?
It's worth something.
boy.
It's not cheap.
Like, is it silver or something like that? Maybe.
No, silver is rare. So if he busted something silver out, yeah, absolutely, you need to swipe
Okay.
that.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. Silver's rare. I forgot.
Yeah. So no, it's made out of some kind of glass or something, but it's nice. I mean, it's it's not something that a common person would use.
He's just trying to size up the possibilities of stealing something on the way out the door. Or maybe a pop,
Oh,
something like that.
Basil don't ever change. Maybe
How is-
not in front of the obvious guard dwarf.
How is Remy? And like obviously, presumably she was there, like standing next to us. So it's just like, yes, we found her. Like,
Yeah,
what is she doing?
She is sitting next to all of her luggage, like on a step. And like somebody's offered her a drink or something. She's just kind of sitting there, kind of like, I would say overwhelmed, or she's definitely out of it. All the adrenaline that in the last couple hours has now worn off, and she's just kind of like, oh man, here I am. This is really going to happen.
Yeah. All right, guys. Let's skedaddle.
Yeah,
We
Carl
got-
just like this guy. He doesn't like the fact that he's like you said, blowing with the wind. He seems like he's trying to take the credit for the girl being returned.
So yeah, he has a brief discussion. He of course looks over when he hears something about another voter or something. He's kind of like trying to pay attention to the store. And he comes back. Oh yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Just duties of the mayor. Always. There's always something to handle. Always something important that needs to be done. Critical things that have to be taken care of. To protect and preserve the peace and serenity of the populace here. Anyway, not of concern right now, because this is a joyous occasion that she has been returned. You have done a wonderful thing to bring her back. And you said that you're right. Completing the rest of the trek, I will send a messenger with you, for they know the way to her father's business. Of course, he technically does not live here. He lives in New Tanchao City, which is across the water. You would know as characters that New Tanchao City is the greatest city in the known world. Also, it is not part of the Ape Empire, so it's sort of like a city-state. The apes have failed to take it over. They don't want to start a war. It's believed that they are trying to do it. The apes have sort of taken over different areas, not so much by fighting, but they just kind of show up and they kind of integrate themselves in the population, and they become friends with so-and-so. And then next thing you know, they've taken over. So that's what they sort of believe that they're trying to do to New Tanchao City. But anyway, that's where supposedly her father lives, and he works here. So he says, yes, I will send a messenger to take you there. And he starts collecting the paperwork of anybody who is registered to now be a resident of Klinkville.
Sure, why not?
It's in his pocket.
And he tears it off and he says, now make sure you keep that with you, of course, in case anybody from the Emker or the apes question whether you have any magic items. Just show them this small little receipt here. You should be fine.
And that was the point.
And also, so here's another point that you all would know as players, is that magic items in cities and stuff, the apes have the authority to question you about them and to find out where you got them. And technically, you're supposed to have paperwork showing why you have them, or they're supposed to have a mark or a seal.
And we just got magic items in the Underdark.
Correct.
Undocumented.
This is for 1.1, yeah.
So do we know how to get the proper documentation?
You would have to go. So this is the mayor of Klinkville, and it's the capital city of a place called the Empire. The Ape Empire is split into like 4 pieces. And there's an Emperor that rules what this is called East and Nor. And Klinkville is the capital. So there's the mayor, who you met, and then there's the actual Emperor lives here in the city. And he is in charge. He is who the apes have put in charge of this, this whole region. And technically you got to go through them to get some paperwork through their, admin to carry magic items. He's saying with this piece of paper that you've signed, and he rips off this small little thing at the bottom, and it basically is a bunch of legal jargon. I'm a resident of Klinkville. I am authorized to carry blah, blah, blah. That's good. That'll work.
Well, that was definitely worth it then.
Zolfin's gonna fill out a citizen form,
Oh yeah, that's an excellent choice. Very good.
and so will Basil.
I think Card and Basil might want to try to become citizens of the other city, the greatest city in the world.
Well, hope you can get there without running into trouble.
Well, we're going to be led by this fine messenger. Of course, we'll get there just fine. And if there's any problems, don't worry, I'll handle.
Remy, have you been to New Tangel City before?
Yeah, that's where my family's from.
Then certainly we don't need a messenger. Remy should be more than capable of taking us to her folks' place.
She is from New Tanchow City, which is basically north of here, across the water. Her father works here in Klinkville, and that's where she was going to the university.
Mm.
Technically, she
Okay.
should know where her father's work is, but the mayor is sending a messenger to help you.
Guys, let's practically speaking, the mayor's messenger, if we do run into any patrols, the mayor's messenger is gonna let us get through. We can't prove much. I mean, other than our citizenship papers, we can't prove much beyond that. No, I vote we let him do his job.
That's fair.
The mayor comes over to you, Karn. I noticed you have not, you do not wish to be a citizen of Klinkville.
Oh, I'm
Loyal to Cuthbert, I know, but I mean, Cuthbert does a lot for, other allegiances.
well, I'm not sure that this is the city for me. This new Tinjao city sounds like a wonderful place to check out.
Oh, yes, I've heard it's fine, very fine.
What are the benefits to a loyal follower of Cuthbert to become a citizen of Klinkville?
I mean, just take in all the city has to offer, the peace, tranquility, the wonderful view right here on the ocean, the various shops and opportunities. I mean, this is the home of adventuring. I wouldn't say that too loud around the apes, but it's the home to adventuring. For instance, how would you handle someone accused of piracy?
Piracy?
Yes.
Why, you put them to the sword.
See? Very good. And he brings a messenger over. He says, find the constable. We're going to put him to the sword. Set, go. And he sends him off. Yes, very good, very good. We just caught a pirate a few days ago.
Might we
did?
know this pirate's name?
Pirate's name. Went by something very peculiar, very something with livestock. What was it? Ox, that's his name. Yes, someone called himself Ox.
A pirate named Ox.
Yes, also very, he looks around to make sure like nobody's listening. Oh yes, very peculiar. Had a stone, a magic crystal in his head that was adhered to. It glowed a amber color, maybe. Very strange. Also found him with some strange crystals in town that he had in town. I think they're the same ones that are seen at that university. I think he was trying to pawn them off or sell them or something. But not sure. We didn't find his ship, but there
What
are
makes-
rumors in one of the, I think, west of Nor that a ship was stolen. This probably is the person, but yes, by the sword, I like your style, Karn.
I've just suggested we put our boss to death, right?
Yeah, we
Yes.
just
What convinces you that this ox is a pirate? I mean, why couldn't he have come across these crystals in a normal manner?
He confessed as much, almost dared us. But that's no matter. I mean, of course, Karn, that's how we deal with piracy in Klinkville, as you will see, by the sword, as you have said. I was very kind of hesitant because we're about to begin the Festival of Light, and I don't want to put a pall on the whole situation, but
Well, certainly you wouldn't want to execute somebody during the Festival of Lights.
oh no, that's why we won't wait. We'll speed up the process before it officially begins, and there'll be no distractions.
Damn.
all righty.
I guess we're gonna have to rescue Ox.
Where are your prisoners held?
Well, we do have a jail in the administrative district, but he's being kept in a secret location.
Ah, yes. Those crystals confiscated, I'm sure.
Yes, confiscated as well.
Where they returned to the university. Sounds like they could have been stolen from there.
I don't know. I don't think so. The university's crystals are still in that whatever that glass they call it, which of course young Remy I hear has had a fondness for, at least that's what her father said, is still in the display case. So he got it from somewhere, probably stolen since he's a pirate.
So he admitted to being a pirate.
As in so many words. I mean,
What were these words?
oh, I mean, I didn't do the interrogation.
Was there a trial?
Of course, he was able to speak his piece and say, whatever he needed to say.
And there was a judge,
Of course, yes, of course, there was a town judge.
the town judge. That's who dispenses law here.
Yes, yes, of course, the judge in the city. Yes.
What was the judge's idea for sentencing?
Oh well, I mean, usually for piracy it is hanging, but this by the sword sounds a lot more exciting.
Perhaps you could
Oh,
sell
it'll be
tickets and donate
exciting,
the
all
proceeds
right.
to the Church of Cuthbert.
The mercy of the Church of Cuthbert.
Sell tickets to the execution, and then donate the proceeds to the Church of Cuthbert. A fundraiser, if you would.
A fundraiser. Interesting.
But it would take some time to plan something like that. You
Oh,
couldn't-
no. I have many planners in my staff. This could be done rather quickly. Karn, you are, for a paladin of Cuthbert, you're very wise. Tickets, so yes, that would certainly enrich me. The Klinkville community, of course, they'd be given to widows and orphans that I would oversee. But yes, paid public execution by the sword, of course, in the name of, well, we won't mention the C word, but yeah.
All should be proud to donate to Cuthbert.
Yes, that will be implied, of course. I mean, I don't think we would come out and say that. We don't want to offend certain sensibilities here, but yes, it would all go to Cuthbert. Yes.
So our characters would know, is Ox technically a citizen of the Ape Empire, or is he a citizen of New Tanchow City?
Oxwood never said who he is a citizen of.
But what's the ship registered to?
The ship, who knows? It was the ship that you were on was stolen.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah. You guys might not realize that, but there are some players here that were there when the ship was stolen. So yes, the stolen ship that he talked about that's in some like Weston or whatever, that's your ship.
that's our
They
ship.
haven't linked the two together yet, but he doesn't know where the ship is.
Yeah, the Thunderous Fury started as a as a pirate. Up until the point of where we went to Underdark, we were totally just pirates.
Yes.
yes, we're yeah, obviously not in game. Oh yeah, we were pirates with the Paladin of Cuthbert. Yeah.
So obviously,
Yeah,
Karn
that was really well.
was bamboozled and suckered into something that he didn't realize he was getting into.
Well, in some regards, I mean, being a paladin of Cuthbert, you're an outsider because the apes don't allow any other religion.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Cuthbert
Oh
would
really?
be a rival religion to the one that they have established.
Yeah, the ape spirits. Yeah, there's no other religions around other than the ape spirits.
Wow.
That's why he's being
So
careful.
Karn's technically illegal?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I'm proselytizing every.
Yeah, every time you open your mouth, never mind.
So I guess in some ways, Karn was to overthrow the ape empire.
I shall sing your song from a great distance. All right, guys. Obviously, we have things to do, but we can't do them while hauling around Remy. Let's get her to where she needs to go, and then consider what else we need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
It's been nice talking to you, Mayor, but we need to complete our mission.
Yes, of course. And I will think about that ticket idea and of course give you proper credit where credit is due.
Very well.
Yes, Mayor. Mayor, our meeting has been memorable. You have truly etched yourself in my memory.
Oh, well, and he has a couple of his assistants come over. He hands each one of you a bottle of wine for the road, for the trip, of course. You also notice on the bottle it like says the mayor's finest vintage gumdrop winery.
He's trying hard, isn't he?
One important question. When is the election?
That's an excellent election. This is he's trying to think, and then somebody else, a human man, comes over and he's like, and whispers in his ear, "Oh, it's in 20 days, day 28 here of course, Illuminator's gift, because we always use the Arcone calendar, not the Ape Empire's calendar. But yes, in 20 days there will be an election."
Great. I am 80% sure who I am voting for.
Excellent, sir. Yes.
80%.
May a couple more sips of that wine bring you to a full 100.
Here's hoping. You need to take one more sip.
Yes, and he grabs a couple pastries and like puts them in your pockets. For the road, for the trip, for as long in case you get you need a snack, it's a brisk walk. It's a nice day.
It's most appreciated.
Oh yes. So he has his messenger. It looks like a young kid, probably like 15, who is going to go with you and lead you to Remy's father's business. So he takes you out a side, entrance, and there's all these vines and things are growing, all these plants growing, and there's people watering it and having discussions and drinking wine and talking, and everybody seems like every person you seem to meet, either they're drinking or eating something, or they're painting something, or they're making music. He leads you out, and there's a wall It's more like a retaining wall. It's not like, doesn't look like a wall it's going to keep out an army. It just looks like a retaining wall, and it goes for a long way to like the south. And he kind of leads you through this gate, and there's two guards there. It looks similar to his guards, with their livery and whatever, and their spears. And they just kind of let you through, and you enter Klinkville, and to your right, you see these large, like marble stone buildings, and that is the university, as Remy says. I mean, it's pretty big. There's a bunch of buildings, and you can see that there are people walking around. It is technically winter, but it's not a bad day. It's probably like in the mid-50s, and there's a well-worn path that you walk down, and you've got the university, the sprawling university on your right, and on your left you see a large tower, which looks like some kind of guard tower. And he continues to walk. You go through like another gated area as you pass the university, and there's more guards. And then you continue walking down, and again there's another guard tower where you can see a couple soldiers, but they are not soldiers of the mayor. They look more like probably ape soldiers, because they're wearing something completely different. They have like purple with some kind of like gold around the gold, like a gold like sash. And on your right, now you've gone past the university. Now you go to these large mansions that are on stilts. So think of like when you're at like the Outer Banks, everything is up high. These are all these houses, and it's kind of swampy, and there's a lot of different trails and little bridges over like areas of water. And this is basically the noble area. And you're going past.
Close attention to this.
Yeah, of course he would. Yeah. And you go past, and on the left-hand side, there's now like small trees, because nothing really, any large trees grow here. There's a swamp, and then you come up to this large kind of like residential house, but it says Prowess Shipping. And Remy's like, well, yeah, this is where my father works out of.
So he's involved with shipping.
Yes, moving goods from like New Tanchow City to different places around the Rokanar, around the world, and Klinkville's a big shipping port.
Do you think he would ever be involved in, say, some human smuggling if it was for a good cause?
Just kind of looks at you like, I mean, you don't have to be smuggled out of here. You can just get on a ship and leave.
Well, we can,
Not
but
if you're in jail for piracy.
perhaps one of our friends might need it very soon.
I was thinking more along the lines of having him claimed officially in some way. He's not a pirate. He's he's one of our captains. Why are you calling one of our captains a pirate? That would probably do better than smuggling him out.
Oh, I mean, maybe. Just exploring my options, friend Orion. Just exploring my options.
So she kind of like shakes her head and begins her walk up like this long walkway that's been built up to this it looks like one of the noble houses, but it just has a big sign on it. So it's probably part like residence, place to live, and a place to work.
Remy, before we meet your father, may I ask a somewhat personal question?
Sure.
Did you part on good terms?
I mean, yeah. I mean, we didn't quarrel much. I mean, yeah, there weren't. Oh, are you saying that I left and he told me not to go or something?
Yes, I was just trying to get a sense of what to expect.
Oh, he was always worried in what I was into the things I was doing, and I told him I would seek out that novum glass. Is that those
Okay.
underdark crystals? That's what she calls them. he was concerned. He thought it was a bad idea. Thought it was dangerous, you know.
He was right. It certainly wasn't safe, but you know.
Safe enough while the dragon was there and his position was unknown, but unfortunately, the dragon is right. Nobody's safe from hags.
He's
Alrighty.
around like, yes, nobody is safe.
We gotta get you some earplugs, dude. Or earmuffs, so won't even matter if the hag charms you. You won't be able to hear her orders.
That would be grand. It did not go very well last time.
I wonder if that would work.
She walks up to the door and goes in and vanishes.
Wait a minute. We're supposed to present her.
Right.
Give concessions. Save our captain.
A reward.
That was Basil, not Karn, of course. She walks on ahead and opens the door. I mean, unless she's going to just bar us, I'm going to follow her.
Okay. Yeah, she opens the door, walks in.
We're carrying her things, right?
Yeah, all her crap is behind you, and that messenger is just standing there like he hasn't gone anywhere.
I'll thank him for his service, and we'll make sure to let the mayor know that you are an exemplary employee.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Yes.
I hope he's not looking for a tip.
That's exactly what he's doing.
Fine. Okay, fine. We need to get him away from us. I'll tip him a couple of gold. I don't know if that's what the going rate is, but that should be.
1 gold would be like way above. I mean, that would you would make his day.
All right, I'll tip him a gold then.
I'll
just look at him and say, it's so easy to forget what we talked about on the way over here.
Who are you again? And he turns and runs off.
There you go.
I thought maybe you were trying to get a torchbearer.
I don't want a compromised set of ears around while we start talking about ox.
Right.
An older man who looks worn, bags under his eyes. He's wearing glasses. He's got very gray beard, balding at the top. Starts to come up from behind his desk as Remy has given him a big hug, and he just kind of is in shock. And he puts the rest of his paperwork down on his desk, and he says, who do I owe the honor? I mean, how did this? I'm speechless.
Hail Cuthbert for delivery of those who need saving.
We're the crew of the Thunderous Fury, including our intrepid Karn, who indeed is a proud son of Cuthbert.
Hail Cuthbert on this day, I say to you.
But we have a bit, not to impose on you, but we have a bit of business, sort of an emergency bit of business we would like to talk with you about.
I am in your debt. I am Anton Remnoska. I can't thank you enough. Remy said that you were the ones who saved her, brought her here, so I'm in your debt.
Our captain has been wrongfully accused of piracy by the mayor.
Oh, I've heard of this. I've heard of this. Yes, I've heard of this. I've heard of that there's been a pirate that's been arrested. Yes, it is definitely whispers in the noble community. I've heard of this. Oh, this is okay.
We were hoping to secure your aid in getting his release. Unfortunately, there was a little misunderstanding with the mayor, and it seems to have instead sped up his execution, Karn.
Merely answered honestly.
So while I would normally love to let you relax and listen to Remy and all her many tales, we seem to be under somewhat of a deadline here.
I know some individuals in the constable's office. I shall find out, inquire when this change of events, this pirate, when this is going to happen, and where are you staying?
We have yet to
We have no figure.
figure it out. The mayor seemed all too happy to indulge us, but he seems to have a one-track mission, and it's to get as many voters as possible.
Yes, that is his mission. Yes. Well, he is under a lot of pressure from the Emperor to deal with this pirate.
What's the Emperor's stake in this?
Well, he is, of course, the ruler here and over East to Nor, and they take a very hard line with piracy. He has allowed the mayor to handle it, but if the Emperor steps in, he will probably, I'm for sure, will execute him. There's been other issues with pirates getting away with things in other areas of the known world, backroom deals and things that the king himself is not happy with. So no one wants to be seen as weak.
Indeed, a true piracy should be punished, for it is an evil thing, but I believe that this man is not truly a pirate that deserves punishing. Point in fact, if it wasn't for him, your daughter wouldn't be here today. For it was he who told us to go and rescue her.
Well, I owe this pirate a debt of gratitude.
Falsely accused pirate. Allegedly.
Falsely accused, yes, falsely accused.
Alleged. Lovely. As to your earlier inquiry, I don't believe any of us have any fixed abode, although Karn, of course, would love to know if there's a local church of Cuthbert who might put him up. The rest of us are in the wind, as it were, for a place to stay.
Oh, I seek the chapel of Cuthbert to tithe and pray. I too will need accommodations. I will not put my impose on them unless it was absolutely necessary, which it is not.
You've heard of the rejuvenating bog?
I think we passed it on the way. It was.
No, it is further to the south. That is probably a good place. There is an inn here in the Noble district, but it may raise suspicions, which we shouldn't raise at this time.
So the rejuvenating bog has places to stay?
Yes, it is a bathhouse, an inn, and there is a cleric there. You'll get rest, and there'll be like those of like mind for your friend as well.
Excellent, then. Well, shall we meet tomorrow to work towards freeing our captain?
Yes, we shall. Let us meet at Valentino's Cafe down by the docks. It's in the Old Town district. They have good food there, and we will discuss what our plan is.
Excellent. What's this guy's name, by the way? I didn't write it down.
Anton.
All right, sounds like a plan. Go get some rest, maybe another meal, and be hopefully feeling better in the morning.
All her stuff gets brought in, and he just shakes his head as like box and bags. It's just all this dusty crap is like brought into his little office area. And she's just kind of going through it for a second and kind of, just kind of dust herself off. She gets a little bit of a drink and gives her, father a quick kiss and says, "I'm off to the university, father. I'm sorry. I have a dream dragon to save." And she just goes, and wipes his brow and just like, you just got back. And she just takes off, headed back towards the university. I will see you all tomorrow, maybe.
I hope so. She is Zolfan would turn to Anton. She is a strong-headed one.
Yes, yes, she is. A dream dragon, that can wait till tomorrow. I can sleep on that. Hopefully.
Hopefully dream.
Yes.
She does seem quite friendly with that dragon.
You've met this dragon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it's a dragon though. It's
In the flesh.
Yeah.
He's a dragon.
It's not a paramour. It's an actual dragon, and it was helping her with her research.
he walks over to his cabinet and pulls out a bottle and starts to pour a drink for himself. Yeah, he takes a drink. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure I'll hear more about it. She's here in Klinkville, safe. Hopefully that dragon is not in any of that luggage.
Oh, it's much too large.
Oh, okay. Good.
I think we would know.
But it didn't say anything about not returning. So I kind of look off to the distance.
Okay, so you guys leave Anton's house / business and head south. Are you going to head to the
Rejuvenating Bog. Hell of a name about that.
Yes, Rejuvenating Bog. Okay, you continue walking. You can tell this is the Noble District, and you pass some more houses. Again, in this marsh, and they're all on stilts. Few people are out walking with their parasols. Pass a place with a sign that says Slumbering Cove, and there's some houses around like this, a small little pond. Not really a lake. And you come up to like an intersection of roads. And there's some more of the mayor's soldiers there. There's also a couple apes there. Again, in like their purple, like leather. They got like a purple cloak with some kind of gold around it. And one of the apes doesn't appear to have any weapons, at least you notice, is kind of standing with a couple humans at like a makeshift bench area. And there's some like paperwork or something, and he's kind of like talking to them. But there's a second one who's standing there holding a staff that has a red crystal in it. And he's standing there. He also is wearing a monocle. And he just seems to watch everybody as everybody seems to be coming in at this kind of like crossroads. Because if you look west, you can see that retaining wall and you see a large gate, and you can see that they're checking people in and they're coming down this road. And he, they're kind of like all crossing and kind of like leading people in different directions. And this one ape is like standing there holding staff, and he watches you guys. He like seems like he just eyeballs each one of you wearing that monocle.
I mean, unless they say something, I'm going to ignore them, We know where we're going.
You guys go take this intersection, and you go east and then make a sharp turn headed back south. Again, there's some more noble houses like on your left-hand side on stilts. And then you cross another one of those towers that the apes occupy. And then you get into an open area that's got like kind of hills, and it's a little bit swampy, but it's mostly hilly. And you can see that there's some kind of memorial set up. There's like a garden, and there's a large like building that has the big sign that says Rejuvenating Bog Bathhouse and Inn.
A number of people. We've got Basil and Karn. We've got Zophan and Basil. We've got Orion. Are any of the? We had a couple of tag-ons like Torjon, I think.
Yep.
Did they split with us? Did they split with us already or not?
No, they're with you.
So we got a serious entourage.
Yep.
Big group.
Okay.
We'll need a whole floor.
So 6, 7. How many people?
Well, you got the
Because
vice, you got the vice mayor and ethics. You've got Basil and Felix. No, sorry, Clintock and Felix.
Okay. That's 9. Then Torjon makes 10. Well, it sounds like 10 people unless, you count differently. We'll see if the rejuvenating bug can take on 10 weary adventurers begging for rest.
Yeah, you come in there, there's a desk and people moving about in this like lobby. There's a fountain, nicely decorated, fairly clean. Can I help you?
Yes, we need rooms for 10, and
Oh,
let's presume for 3 days. We may need to extend that or check out early.
3 days. Would these be private rooms for each of you, or do you wish to share rooms?
We can share.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I'm sure those two will at least want to sleep in the same room, as he kind of vaguely gestures towards Basil and Ethics.
All right, the Bessics brothers, yeah. At least doubles, although, if they have other accommodations, we can consider it.
Yeah, Karn's fine with a corner someplace, stretched out flat.
Karn, you do Cuthbert no service unless you are in tip-top shape. Have a real sleep sometime.
Asleep in the armor is a real sleep. You lay flat on your back, your arms at your side, your sword in your hand.
That sounds like sleeping in a coffin.
It helps me maintain my perfect posture.
That would be, but in that case, wouldn't you put the sword up your? No, never mind.
I'm not sure I'm understanding what you mean.
Oh, just a stray thought. No attention.
Well, for 5 shared rooms and for the use of the facilities, the bathhouse, of course, and for a little bit, there's also the Klinkville breakfast is included.
Ooh, sounds nice.
It would be a total of 15 gold.
I'll treat you all.
What is that in silver?
He looks at you strangely.
Take it. You don't see much silver.
No, they don't.
Not to worry.
They don't mint silver.
Is that Basil or Karn saying that?
Karn.
Karn got the silver, right?
Yeah, he's got 140 very finely minted silver pieces.
Karn, perhaps that is a battle for another day. I will treat you all. I'll pay. Yes, I'm marking it down.
He's going to have to find a way to trade out the silver. I suppose he needs to find a weaponsmith to repair his whip. Or was it something he could just shove it back together?
You could certainly try to do that.
Yeah. What time of day is it? Do we have time to run errands before?
Yeah, I would say
it
it's
gets
like
too late
mid-afternoon.
at
I would say it's like the afternoon. Yeah.
And, well, okay. Do they have a concierge or somebody who could even come with us to show us around while we run a few errands.
Yeah.
I mean, if that costs a little more, that's fine, but, you know, we're low on time. I'd rather not. I'd rather get everything done as best I can than,
Yeah. Basically a person, if you want the person for the entire, it's basically a gold piece for the entire day. And then you just, they go with you, do whatever you need them to do. And and since it's
Okay.
noon, you'll get all of today and up to noon tomorrow.
okay. Oh, good. He can show us where the restaurant is tomorrow morning too.
Good sir. Quick question. What is your opinion on the upcoming election? Who are you? Who are you privy to voting for?
Oh, does this
is not a
affect?
loaded question. The mayor seems to be very concerned about his post, and I have no idea who else is running against him.
I don't know who is running against him as well. Mayor Gumdrop has done a lot of good things for the city, and he seems genuine in what he tries to do. I mean, if I could vote, I would surely vote.
Are you not able to vote?
No, I'm not eligible to vote.
I'm thinking, drop the armor off at an armor and weapons that need repair off at an armor for repair, and we can pick them up tomorrow morning on our way to the meeting. And then we do supplies, and then if there are any other suggestions about places to go, et cetera, we can work on that. But, sorry to be boring and practical, but necessities first and then worry about the rest.
That sounds about
So
right.
I'm looking.
Karn does need to
supplies,
do
by the way.
anything, but I think he can do that at this end here. If it's not mistaken, there's a cleric there.
Supplies, by the way, includes the potion shop. Pete had mentioned like alchemical fire and maybe healing potions. So I want to see if I can do some damage up and, not have to lean on Karn's healing hands quite as much.
Karn and Basil are both interested in anonymous fire and healing potions too. So
that's the plan: is armor to drop stuff off for repairs, and then regular supplies, alchemical supplies, and anything else. And that should take most of the rest of the day.
Works for me.
Okay.
Although Orion is going to be out on the lookout for a stray dog while we're doing that.
Karn needs to try to find some place to change some of this silver into gold that he can spend at places.
The smith might know. I mean, they deal in odd metals sometimes.
Yeah, he might be willing to buy it.
Yeah,
So-
silvered weapons are a thing. You might be able to buy some of it.
I didn't know that silver was rare. I bought Basil has a silver tip arrow from when I did character creation.
Yeah, no, yeah, that was fine.
Okay, yeah, he's got one silver tip
Yeah.
arrow in case we ran into a ghost or a werewolf.
Yeah, that's the point. You could even keep some of it for later use,
For our own, yeah.
So your guide is Brucon.
Oh, lead on, Brucon. Good smith. Good armorer first, who can repair our armor, and perhaps if they're also a weaponsmith, that would be great. I understand Karn has a whip with a few little structural problems.
And he says,
Whoa!
so you have an item that wishes to be repaired. It is It is a magic item.
Is the whip magic? The whip is magic. Okay, yeah. Which
Vital.
Do you have paperwork for it?
Yes, right here. Shows them what the mayor gave us.
You can see Brucon looks at it. Kind of shakes his head. He's okay.
And if this is not sufficient, perhaps you can lead us to where we can go to make it sufficient or get the proper paperwork done.
No, I know Loach. We can get it. He can fix it for you.
What's wrong with this?
I mean, you can see it's broken in half.
Oh, I thought you meant fix like the citizenship form.
The
No.
paper,
Oh
Okay.
no.
is the paperwork, does he think the paperwork's fine to?
He says that the apes can choose not to acknowledge it if they wish. I've seen them many times just throw it in the ground and urinate on it.
oh,
So
wonderful.
how would we go about getting it to where they won't throw it on the ground and urinate on it?
It will cost you a lot of gold. It may not even be worth your time.
Best we don't run into any apes, or if we do, they've already have empty bladders.
So, yeah, if there's a route that avoids troubling the 8 guards, perhaps we should take it.
Okay. All right. So he's going to lead you back into town. You do go past the like administrative buildings, like the town center, and there is a large like mansion castle there, but it doesn't look as obscene or out of taste as Mayor Gumdrops. And Brucon says that's where the Emperor resides. He resides in the, in Klinkville proper, as opposed to the mayor who lives right outside the city walls. You enter the market district, and he brings you first to Klinkville Supplies, which is a general store.
Well, let's see. Things I'm short of. Oil! Oh, sorry. Yeah. Stock my oil flask back up to the 12 that they started with. And let's see what else. I'm down rations. I'll need a week's worth. And let's see, torches. The torches held out mostly because I used the oil and lantern instead of the torches. So that's it, unless these guys also have the alchemical stuff. So I'll just use, you don't have to tally it up. I'll just use that's in the guide. I'll just use their prices unless it's different.
Kern and Basil will buy a little bit of oil, fill up their
Okay.
supplies, their rations and stuff.
So there is it's a human man named Accursed, who's got some scars and looks like his forearm has been burned. And he looks like the only one working in here. There's all sorts of items, it's a general store, so there's all sorts of stuff. He seems to know Brucon. They just kind of nods and he's, welcome to Klinkville Supplies. What brings you here today?
I'll just tell him the list, things I want.
You been on anything interesting adventures recently?
Well, yes, indeed. We were in the Underdark seeking treasure. Instead, we found naught but death and destruction, and survived by the skin of our teeth and by dumping lots of oil on things and setting them on fire. Hence, give me more oil.
Yes, yes. Orion, give me roll 2d6 and add your charisma modifier.
Okay, yeah, the monster reactions are on page 229. I don't see an NPC reaction.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna kind of use that, but I mean, it's not gonna be hostile or he attacks.
Right. Well,
Or maybe he does.
Maybe he does. Okay. I've only got a +1, but okay. Rolled a 5 and a 3, and I got +1, so that's a total of 9.
Okay, nice. He so whatever you purchase, he throws in an extra flask of oil and an extra pack of torches. He says you might need these.
I hope not.
Thank you, my good man, and I will certainly recommend your store to all my friends.
Yes, a good story. I always want to hear about since I cannot adventure anymore. And this is a town that was made on adventuring. That's what it's all about.
Tell me, good man, do you know who can change precious metals for golds and monies and stuff?
Oh, you would you might have to go to a bank and exchange, but what do you have
show
to?
one of the silver pieces and say, I've uncovered this in my wanderings.
Oh, he looks at it. Wow, this is impressive. Yeah, so you want to go to the bank and exchange in the merchant district. Stay away from the one that's in the nobles section of town.
Avoid the nobles. Good advice, always.
I'm gonna purchase some rope. Could use another length. Do you have anything lighter than the standard fare?
Lighter than the standard fare.
I don't know if there's actually any like light rope or like in the game.
Silk rope.
Silk rope?
You're looking for silk rope if they have it, or elven if you're reading Tolkien, because the elven rope is of course perfect in Tolkien. Light and does what you want. You just shake it a little, hold your weight down the whole cliff, and then you just shake it a little at the bottom, and it unties itself and falls down.
Yep. They had silk rope. Zolfan would be interested in that. Otherwise, he would get just the length of regular rope.
Yeah, he's got some silk rope. He looks at your face and sees your scar. Looks like you've seen you may have an interesting story to tell as well.
Yes. Well, I danced with a hag and lived. Her sisters weren't too thrilled about it.
Continue.
Well, I was, for that night, the one who got away. Much to her and her sister's dismay. Anyways, I wish not to bore you with the...
No, you are not boring me. That is an incredible story.
One I hope to never live again.
Bart hands him a pamphlet and says, perhaps at some point in time you would like to read about the tales of St. Cuthbert.
Zofan, give me a 2d6 roll. Add your charisma modifier.
All right. Oh, sweet. Because my charisma modifier is goes the opposite direction. That's a 5.
So the regular rope is 1 gold. The silk rope is 5 gold pieces.
He'll hand the gentle sir the 5 gold pieces.
Okay. All right, Karn, give me a 2d6 roll.
Oh boy. 4 and 5. with a +1 for charisma.
That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. It's good to see someone proclaiming the faith.
Indeed, everybody should be bowing to Cuthbert. His might shall prevail in the end.
And what tales do you have that you have done in the name of Cuthbert?
Oh my, we collapsed an evil city under the earth, saved some people that lived there that were slaves, saved some of my friends from those hags, but nothing to brag about, nothing compared to the glories of Cuthbert. And he'll tell them, more details if he wishes.
Oh yeah,
to.
he's all into. He wants to hear the stories.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, Karn, don't forget the one you started out with, the 3-armed giant that you slew and threw down into the mines.
Oh yes, there was that. I think I jumped into the middle of a large opening off the side of a cliff and stabbed him through the head with a sword and jumped off as his body fell down, but that's too much like bragging. It was not I, it was the power of Cuthbert that made that possible.
It's refreshing. It's good to hear that Cuthbert is out doing great works again.
He is indeed. He never stopped. You just didn't hear about him as much. It's these vile apes,
Yes. So what are you getting, Karn?
Oh, Karn's getting a flask of oil and some rations and a water skin. He's having to take a loan from Basil, who's charging him interest.
A flask of oil. A water skin. So how many gold pieces is that?
I figured it up and then forgot. I took it all off of Basil's sheet. Let me see here. The flask of oil was
2 gold pieces.
2 gold pieces. Oh, a backpack for 5 gold pieces. And Basil wants to buy a grappling hook and regular standard rations for 5 gold pieces.
He looks at that backpack and then walks around behind his little counter and open up a chest. He comes out with another backpack. He said, This is made of Nomex material. He said the gnomes make this. It's virtually indestructible. For no charge, you should, in the name, of course, of Cuthbert, you should take this.
Gladly, and I shall tell all to come and visit your store and regale you with tales, and to make sure they let you know about the virtue of Cuthbert. No, Max. It's fireproof.
No bag, yeah.
This is a princely gift and very much appreciated.
Well, I appreciate the stories you've said and told me. It is refreshing to hear. Most of the time people don't wish to speak, or they don't have anything interesting to say. No adventures. But you have brightened my day, probably my week.
Well, that's sad. For a city built on adventuring and hardly anyone adventures anymore, or
Yes.
anything to say. Seems like the city has lost its spirit a bit.
Yes. It's too bad.
There is more to this life than adventuring, though. Cities like this exist for good reasons. It gives places for people to be safe and to raise families and do good deeds with each other.
Is that what they're calling it nowadays?
What would you call it, good sir?
Just raise families, I suppose. I don't know. This is much bigger than my hamlet, which is a couple houses and a apothecary, but this might be a bit too big. Not a place that I want to stay and do good deeds in.
Well, your hamlet has value as well. I'm sure there are some here who do not do quite as good a deeds, but that's everywhere. That is the evil that we all must fight every day. How else shall we serve Cuthbert?
This is true. I will think upon this.
Oh, he's always trying to convert you. I can imagine the party being slightly sick of hearing about Cuthbert.
The bard's just using it to develop his comedy sketch. See, on one side, it's the Bessex brothers on one side converting to the strength of arm, and the Cuthbert guy on the other side converting to Cuthbert. So it's like a comedy routine. The bard just treats it as a comedy routine,
Kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
Everybody's supposed to
You must.
be of Karn. I mean, he's that annoying character, It's like someday,
Yeah, but
he'll edge of that precipice, and you'll just be like, you know what, screw it, and push him over.
Yeah, but he saved our asses a couple of times. And his exploits are good for a few good tales, so the bard definitely puts up with him for that reason. All right, sounds like we got our supplies. What's next? Right. We need armor. We need armor repair. We need weapon repair.
You leave the shop as the owner is Erost is basking in the glow of the stories you said, and you leave, and just a quick jaunt, and you are at the big Crystal Blade, which is sort of a magic shop for armor and simple weapons. You walk in, and there's just like some daggers and swords, and are like displayed like on the wall on each side. And there's just a man sitting there in a chair. He looks like 70, 80 years old. He's got a long beard that goes all the way to the floor, and patches of hair, like pieces missing. And he kind of looks up. Oh, well, welcome. Come in. Look at the wares.
Wonderful shop. My name is Orion Attercap. What would your name be, good sir?
Mine's Loach.
Did you say slouch?
Loach.
Loach. Okay.
Loach. Are you deaf?
Not yet. Karen, you want to show him the fun?
Oh, what fun do you have?
Oh, hello, sir. Greetings to you. I am Karn Stone, loyal servant of Cuthbert. Have a pamphlet. I do have I have a small problem with this whip. You see, it's the tongue of Cuthbert. But
Oh, yeah, you have one into whips too, I see. Yeah.
It fell apart on me. I was wondering if you could make some repairs to this.
Oh, sure. Yes, I have been down to the docks and then been to the sailor's seduction once or twice or three times. I had a whip break on me before. What is this? Is this? Oh, he takes out a monocle. Oh, I see. It's magical. Yes.
Indeed. Indeed, this is the tongue of Cuthbert, and it is.
Oh, yes, I have said that many a time too. But Cuthbert was not the name I used, but you choose however you wish.
The only thing that this will be doing in such a den of iniquity is punishing those that frequent such a place.
Oh, yes, punishment is eye of the beholder, they say. So you wish this fixed? How soon?
As
Loach
soon
can
as
get this done. As soon as possible.
by tomorrow morning.
Oh, tomorrow morning. I can have it for the evening for extra cost. If you have eager participants waiting.
You could say that I do. Tell me, good man, do
Oh, the heck.
you, silver?
Oh, silver. What do you say here? Silver.
And I show him the piece that I had out before.
Oh, yeah. It's quite nice.
You
Perhaps
deal in silvered weapons?
Silver weapons. I might be able to make arrangements for things. Yes.
perhaps you could use this to make you some silver weapons and go towards the payment of my repairs, and you can just give me change in gold.
Oh, sure. Sure. All in the name of Saint Cuthbert. Yeah. Hand me all your silver.
There's your silver.
All right. So how much you give him?
Oh, I gave him the silver piece. I don't know how much the silver's worth, but he's not a rube. he was expecting change back from that piece of silver, but I don't know if that's reasonable or not.
I would say you could get it fixed with this nice piece here.
Is that enough to cover it?
Well, if there's another one to go along with it, I'm sure you could have it from this evening.
I give him a second one.
Oh, yes, Lois likes this. Very good.
You should have seen the lady, and I will describe her and since this guy seems to like different kinds of tales than the general merchant, I will describe her in great detail in her human form, that is. And then when he seems to be enjoying that, I'll say, but in truth, she was a hag.
Oh,
and we found out the hard way, for she transformed into this vile thing, and go in the tongue and the scraggly hair and the iron talons and the.
Oh, well, at Loach's age, beggars can maybe choose us. So, yeah.
So just round numbers. What are we looking at for like a +1 spear in this store? Is it within price range or?
The normal spear is 4 gold pieces. I have no idea what magic spear would cost.
When creating the section in the basic rules available online under magical research, it costs 500 gold per level and of the mimic spell that the magic item is mimicking, plus 1 week of in-game time. But there is 500 gold per level if you're creating a magic item.
If you're right that 500 is even the minimum, then yeah, I probably don't have the money for that unless it's just cheaper. So.
You'll fill out the spear, it'll be 750.
Okay, maybe not. Tell you what, just in case, Corin, if I make a donation to Cuthbert, will you allow me the use of one of those gold pieces so that the gentleman use of a silver piece so that the gentleman can silver my spear, add silver plating to my spear?
I can do that for the party good and for such a good friend as yourself.
I'll hand you 50 gold.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah.
no, I'm serious. Card has saved him a couple of times, so, and I've got money at the moment, so I'll hand him 50 gold.
He won't argue with you. He
To
gladly
use
gives.
for the glory of Cuthbert, of course.
Indeed.
So
He's planning on giving.
So
He's
can I
planning
get-
on giving like 25 of these silver pieces. For because paladins have to tithe 10% of what they make.
yeah, so I will see if the guy can, take the silver piece and put silver on the spear. So if we ever meet things like werewolves, ghosts, etc., that we can deal
Okay,
with them.
so
Just
it
one-
won't have any kind of plus. It will just be a silvered weapon. Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, understood.
Oh yeah, I can do this for you.
Will the one piece be enough?
Oh yes, it'll be fine.
He wants to make sure his friend can get what he wants.
Sounds like we got a plan here, guys. I think next on the list was getting our armor looked after, and then the alchemist shop.
Does this Loach take care of armor
Unless
too?
wait a minute. Unless they can do the armor maintenance here.
What do you
That-
want? What do you
that
want having?
possible?
What do you want have done?
Well, I just need I've got a set of chainmail that needs to be cleaned up, oiled, and checked for problems. Because boy, have I gotten beaten up in it enough.
Oh, well, you're good customers. I could probably take care of this file.
Okay. On the same schedule. I don't actually need it until tomorrow morning. Is that a possibility?
Oh yes, we'll have it done.
Okay. How much are we looking at?
Oh, maintenance of cleaning up. Okay, 2 gold.
Okay.
2 gold, and buy me one of the better drinks at Sailor Seduction.
While we're here, can you give me directions to that place?
Oh, well, sure, I could. You'll head down to the docks district, of course. That's where all the exotic events occur. If you know what I mean.
Well, very much so. I was more hoping to find some place that needed a little entertainment. Assuming
of course.
we stay in.
Yeah, so there's entertainment all the time. If you're for performers, are you all performers?
I am a bard, of course.
Oh God, that doesn't necessitate mean you're a performer.
Well,
He's a performer.
I've been known to have a few performances. My companions are more along the lines of improv artists, if you will.
Oh, they're like your backup singers.
Yes, except you don't want to hear them sing.
You got enough of the mystery brew there at the Sailor Seduction. They sound fine. They're all in tune. What was the last
Excellent.
performance you did, Bard?
The last performance I did. Well, actually, my description of the hag was accurate because I convinced her that I was her boyfriend by kissing her thoroughly.
Oh, it's delightful.
You should have seen the look on her.
But then, of course, I poured oil on her and set her on fire.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it appears she was into that.
It was almost a breakup gone wrong. Almost.
Well, she did say she wants us back, all of us.
Oh, interesting.
Can't even weird this guy out. Oh well, he's been around the block, I'm guessing.
So you're a singer. What you a lover of fine exotics? What else do you do, Bard?
Well, I leave all the comedy to my friends, of course.
Comedy.
Of course, yes. The punchline of
Oh,
Saint
sorry,
Cuthbert.
Carl. And of course the tragedy and drama.
I will have these things done for you as soon as possible.
Wonderful, Joe. Wonderful, Ed. Perhaps we'll stick around in town for a while, and I may see you at the sailor. What do you call it? The sailor.
Sailor
what?
seduction, of course.
The sailor
Mystery brew.
seduction.
Sounds like the
Okay.
kind of place I need to clean up.
All right.
I'd like some chainmail because I'm tired of getting hit.
Oh,
Do you have like chainmail that would fit my physique? And he just like points to his arm.
You want to put armor on your one arm?
Well, it should it should really leave the arm free because it can protect itself, as is obvious. But I do need I could use the rest of protection for the rest of my body. So do you have any chainmail with one arm cut off? Or is that like can you do that? I just need to have free motion.
Oh, you maybe if you head down to the docks district, there's a smithy down there called Forged Forever. You may find some armor there that's in more your liking.
That sounds good. Are they do they arm wrestle perchance? Down at
That's
the
what you're into, yes. I'm sure you could do that. They could do that at the Sailor Seduction just as well.
Wow.
I was gonna say he's gonna point you there too.
you could do anything. at this
I
place.
mean, I'm sure the sailor seduction is used to seeing people with oversized arms on one side. You know.
Well, thank you. I will do that, and I will not spend any of my money here.
Does Basil have a negative on his charisma or something?
Basil actually has a positive.
Wow. So he's just weird.
Yeah, he's just a weird gym bro.
Yes, he is.
Okay. If we're finished here now, it's time to see if there's better than oil for lighting people on fire.
There's an alchemist called Mystic Libations.
See, they're doing it wrong. The libation is when you pour it out on the floor. I'm sorry. You can get your mystic libations down at the Sailor Seduction. I'm sure enough of their mystic stuff hits the floor there.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, I need to go here.
So he leads you back on the other side of the administrative district and the Emperor's mansion, and it's kind of the main thoroughfare through Klinkville, and points you to where the docks district is. You
Okay.
pass a place called the Greasy Fly Food and Spirits.
Certainly, they have excellent food.
Oh yeah. So as you're walking, he points out Valentino's Cafe where you're supposed to meet tomorrow.
Okay. Good.
And then he makes it, and then the road kind of turns, and he leads you to the mystic libations. You go in, and at the desk, behind the counter is an Arcone. So he is so this is a race specifically to this world, but they're related to dragons. And
Okay.
what's unique about them is depending on what level of sort of evolution they believe their race is in, that's how they pronounce it. So somebody who calls themselves an Arcone, they don't, the D, the R, the D and the R, they just ignore, they're silent. That means if they call themselves an Arcone, that means they believe in the revelation. Their race makes a lot of like tapestries and sort of arts and crafts. If anything is made that's really well done, it's probably made by them.
Including apparently potions.
Yes.
Well, I'll greet the Trarcone with, or Arcone, however you pronounce it correctly, with.
They have kind of scaly skin. They're not a dragonborn. They don't have a tail. They're kind of like Kardashian with scaly skin. It's kind of gray. And he's wearing robes and he bows as you come in. Kelde Shah, welcome.
Greetings yourself.
It is a fine day here. It's in Klinkville.
Mighty fine. And this is the Mystic Libations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any healing potions?
Yes, I do, of course.
Great. How much are they?
Well, 250 gold. You can get 6 doses.
Ouch.
That is the prescribed price by the Empire.
And I hear there's this stuff called Alchemist Fire. Can you tell me what it does and how much it might cost?
Alchemist Fire. Oh, it's very potent, and I do have the knowledge to make such a mixture if you wish.
And how much would that be, please?
It would be 50 gold. It does 2d6 damage, and then the next round it does 1d6.
Well, there goes most of my money. All right, time to do the math. Anybody else got questions while I'm doing the math on how much I got left and can spend?
Well, perhaps we can chip in on these healing potions. I can give you that 50 gold back that you gave me to go towards them.
No, Karn, I appreciate it, but I did truly mean that goal to go to Cuthbert. You have been such a wonderful companion and saved me so many times. I feel that if I cannot, I know you will not take the money yourself, but you can use it for the glory of Cuthbert.
And we also have to support the party too.
Yep. Well, your gold now. Do what you want with it.
Oh, I'll make sure to give extra of the silver. I asked the lady there, or how many of these pieces of silver would it take to buy one of your healing kits?
Healing potion?
Yeah. I don't know the exchange rate yet for the silver, so.
He looks at them. I think 2 would be sufficient.
Oh, wow. They are a lot.
What? Wow.
They're quite expensive. Garn says he'll go for that deal and buy 6 of them.
Wow. I
Yeah,
didn't write down how much you got, but I didn't write down how much you got, but that wasn't a small amount of silver that you got. Holy cow, that's Karn is
146 pieces is what he got.
146.
Mhm.
Well, if you take that exchange rate, 2 of them equals a healing potion.
250,
So that's 70,
125 each.
78 healing potions at 250 gold each. That's 19,500 gold equivalent you're chucking around, boyo.
That is
If
a lot of levels.
if the exchange rate holds up,
If it does, yeah.
Um,
But that guy wanted 2 silver pieces to fix the magic whip, so
yeah. He better be getting his
it's a
change.
repair.
Yeah.
how many healing potions were you gonna buy?
I'd buy the 6 doses with the 2 of them.
Okay, so it's one that has 6 doses, but he probably has more than that.
Well, 2 silvers for 1 pack of 6. Right.
Yeah, 2 silvers will get you 1 healing potion with 6 doses.
Okay. Or should I buy more than that? Should I buy a couple?
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, Card will buy 2 of those, I guess.
Okay.
So he's got a total of 12 doses of healing.
Yep. So you can, as you're doing this, and he gets the other bottle out. Him and Brucon begin having a discussion. He looks so there's a look of concern on Keldishah's face as he's doing this. Probably it wouldn't be hard to figure out that there was some sidebar discussion about Cuthbert. And Brucon, unless I don't know if anybody speaks Elven. I don't know where Torjon is. If you guys would have brought him along, or if he's hanging out at the
Well, he can
rejuven-
come along if he wants to.
Oh,
Certainly
that's
not
what I'm saying.
gonna
It's your character. If he's in there, then I'll let you know what they're talking about.
Oh, okay. So you turned him over to me, basically.
Yeah, he is
Thought I
your
was
that's your
playing-
second character. Yeah.
Okay, I thought I was playing him temporarily. Okay.
Nope, he's yours. You got him now.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, there's no reason for him to sit around while the rest of us are traipsing around the city, so sure.
So they start talking. So Keldishah is concerned about Cuthbert because he only the ape spirits is the authorized religion in the Empire, and he doesn't really understand who this saint is. And Brucon is just telling him that he is just some minor such and such sort of a mortal person that, not to be concerned about it, really playing it down.
If Torjon's just gonna keep it on the down low, because obviously our guide is trying to keep us out of trouble. So Torjon really doesn't have any reason to say anything to anybody else about this.
So basically, Karn's going to end up getting us in trouble.
Yep, Karn's gonna end up getting us in trouble.
Good thing he's got all those healing potions.
Yeah, I'm sitting here debating. I know I want 1 and 1, so the question is whether it's worth it to get more Alchemist Fire. I mean, it's pretty good stuff, but wow, the price. I gotta have 1, but it's just too damn expensive otherwise. So I'm gonna pick up 1 of the 6-pack of healing potions and 1 of the Alchemist Fire. and watch my pocketbook drain based on drain for that. That's most of my money gone. Poof, vanish, whatever. And when you Pete, when you say 6-pack, each dose does how much? Or
Each dose is 1d6.
That's not too bad.
yeah, that's pretty damn good deal, especially the way our party gets chewed up on a regular basis. I mean, the only other errands I have were sort of ad hoc, wanted to wander around and see if I couldn't find an animal companion. But by the time we hit 3 shops, I'm thinking it's probably pretty late, and Karn can sleep in his armor all he wants, but the bard wants a real bed for the night because we've been sleeping on dirt and bedrolls forever. And how much time do we have left before it's reasonable to head back and get some decent sleep?
Let's see. Basil wanted to get some armor, so you could probably get some armor.
Yeah, let's do that.
You leave the Mystic Libations and head down into the Docks district, like another street over, but it's like in the main district. You can see the boats coming in. There's a lot more people crowded in this area. And you make your way to the Forged Forever. You can see the smoke coming out of the building.
Basil will walk in.
There's a strong odor, whatever a forge smell is. That's what it is. Very hot, and you are greeted by a couple dwarves in aprons. One's got a hammer in his hand. He's like, "Hey, what do you need?"
I need something to make me impenetrable. I'm looking for chainmail, but if you have recommendations for my physique, I am open to suggestions.
You got one arm that's too big. You're out of proportion. You fall over.
All over.
Now, those are fighting words. My arm, it's actually my other arm hasn't been trained enough, and I'm working on it. I'm looking for at least chainmail where we can cut off the right sleeve so I can give my arm maximum flexibility.
Gonna fall over. I can assure you, he doesn't fall over.
He looks kind of lopsided.
He's a little lopsided, but he works on that side really hard. It balances out. It's okay.
I'll get something put together for you. I might have some old chainmail in the back.
Old chainmail?
Well, new to you.
So, what is it? Is there anything better that allows freedom of movement?
I don't think you could. Well, I think plate mail might be too hindering on you.
No, I wouldn't want that. Wasn't sure if you carried anything, special for lopsided customers like me.
I mean, are you looking for some sort of enchantments?
Can you do that?
Or you just have a fair maiden down at the Sailor Seduction, just bless that a couple times for you?
You're the second person I've heard talk up this Sailor Seduction, and I'm almost seduced. I think I will do that. My brother will like that a lot.
Yeah, lead us to where the hot bubbles are.
Oh God.
My only love is victory and glory.
And what kind of glory are you talking about?
And he puts his arm up on the table, the wrestling kind.
Huh. Well, I never thought you'd ask. And he drops his hammer. All right, give me a D20 roll.
It's a 6.
All right, it's a stalemate. They're both he's locked in. All right, give me another D20 roll.
I'll start cheering, because I'll not Zovan, Basil. I'll start cheering Basil. Yes, cheer for the home team there.
Is higher better?
You can do it, Basil.
No.
Thank you.
Damn, I got a nat 20.
Yeah, that's a critical fail. You do have a hustle point technically for this session. You might want to use it.
I'm going to use that to avoid embarrassment. That improved. It's a 19. Embarrassed, but not as much as it could have been.
All right, give me another D20 roll.
4.
So he looks like he's gonna beat you. Like he's got you all the way down here. It's like, and then you can tell me how you beat him, because he critically failed that last roll.
So Zofan is, or not Zofan, Basil is down at the like a thumb's width away from losing, and then he remembers he gets a startling revelation of the Commodious Rex and the glory that he's fighting for. And with that, the waves come crashing down, and like the waves, it brings his arm up, slams it on the table, and the dwarf, it hits with such a force, the dwarf falls off of his seat.
Yes, the Commodious
first class.
Yes, the Commodious first class.
That's what I meant. That was like session 1.
You can hear some laughing in the forge, and a huge ape comes out from the back in an apron. He's been sweating. Pay the man. And the dwarf kind of like looks around. And he's like, and he reaches into his pocket and he drops a couple gold pieces onto the table, and you hear he walks in the back, and he comes back with some chainmail armor. And for a second he goes, and he kind of like, you can see that some of it's looks like it's been damaged, and it's got blood stains on it. And he kind of works at it and hacks the arm so it would fit, and it's it looks right. He's like, that's all yours.
Well, thank you. How much do I owe you?
And he kind of looks over at the ape, and the ape just kind of stares him down, and he's like, you beat me. It's on the house.
I like this policy.
Congratulations, friend. You've done well for yourself today.
This is prize money right here. So Basil's gonna put it on.
Okay. So yeah, you've got chainmail armor. It does have blood stains on it.
The price of winning an arm wrestling match.
This day is getting better already. Now we're gonna go see. We're gonna go down to the Sailor Seduction.
Oh no.
To go find a chapel.
Well, if everything has been the way, maybe the chapel's in the Sailor Seduction as well.
Oh, plenty of people calling out the God from there, that's for sure. Well, Ryan looks at Basil and goes, yeah. I must admit I'm sorely tempted, but you know, a good bed and a good night's sleep and a good meal for the first time in weeks is tempting me even more. So you guys have fun. Yeah, amazing when the bard decides to be slightly, the slightly boring part of the party. No, Karn's the really boring part of the party. The bard's
Oh,
just
yeah.
being slightly boring.
But Basil Wilberforce will probably go with you.
Oh no.
Might be an opportunity to steal from somebody if nothing else.
I'm reasonably sure that ethics wouldn't turn down the opportunity. So, yeah, I think Basil would definitely go. Like both Basils.
Oh, great. It's Basil and it's Bessex and Basil. Oh, boy. We'll pick you up from the jail. We'll pick you up from the jail, too, as we try to deal with Ox tomorrow.
Zophon turns like, I think I'm good. That's not the sort of trouble it's not the sort of activity I need tonight. I'm with Orion here.
Okay. So Orion, Zophan, and Karn, as this is where the group splits off, and the Bessex brothers and Basil head over to the Sailor Seduction. You see them walking over, and you guys would see some old man with a long beard shuffling in. He's probably like, he's just ahead of you.
Torjon's going to head back to the inn too because he doesn't have enough money to pay for anything. So
okay. So and you had mentioned about like a stray dog or whatever. You say something to Brucon, who says that it's kind of hard to find, but he does know somebody who deals in like pack type animals, like companions type things outside the gate. So he takes you back to the inn. Just assume the rest of you would go. There's a large group of people who live kind of outside the city in tents. So he takes you over these hills and like through past the retaining wall that some of it's kind of broken, and there's just a large tent city, and he takes you to you can tell this is by the poorer part of the population. And there's fires outside. It's starting to get evening and it's starting to get dark, and there's fires going. You smell cooked food and meats, and people are, well, they've had their drink on for the last 4 hours. So there's some music, so it's kind of lively. The man in leathers and outdoors, he looks like an outdoorsy type, shows up with a looks like some kind of dog maybe, but it's got like mange or something next to him, and him and Brucon speak in Elven. And basically Torjon would just, to translate, he would just say that they're here to purchase some sort of pack animal. And the guy says, you looking for something to hunt with? I mean, creatures or?
Yeah, basically a hunting dog, but more an attack dog, if you will. I don't need him to track things so much as I need him to guard me sometimes.
So you want something hardy?
Yep.
He said, I've got some of these dogs here, but I don't know how hardy they really are. You'd have to buy some leathers for him.
He
However,
wants me to armor the dog.
you can see the dog's got mange. It looks like it's I wouldn't say in bad shape, but it's, certainly doesn't look in full good health. It doesn't look hardy.
Does he does he have other options or?
So you're all standing there, and he's showing you the dog and like the leather and stuff on it. He's like, you probably want to get something to cover him. But he's pretty feisty in a fight. I got something else for you. And he whistles, and you hear this like thunder noise, and something. It's like getting twilight, and a bunch of people just kind of jump out of the way, and this thing comes flying at you guys. Everybody, give me a dex roll.
Alrighty.
I failed. Karn
Made
failed.
it.
Zofan.
Failed. What?
The acrobat rolled the dex roll. Okay.
Rolled an 18, man.
That's what I got.
That's
So-
okay. Do those high numbers now. Don't do them next time in a fight.
So you are surprised as this thing comes barreling at you. Orion, you just get a glimpse of this thing, you bolt out of the way. This thing knocks Zofan and Karn down, and you guys go flying. It turns around. It is a warthog. It's got a huge tusks, and it's snorting. And it's it like starts moving around, and he says like a couple commands, and it stops.
Okay. What can this thing do? What's his name? What can he do?
Knock your opponent down. Can hit him with those
Okay.
tusks if it has to. Can sniff out things. It's pretty smart too.
Okay.
He says a couple words, and Karn, as you're laying there, it walks over and sits on you. And this thing weighs like 400 pounds.
Off me!
Can it sniff out its own food in the wild? I can't exactly share too much of my food with that thing.
Oh, it can fend for itself. It can find its own food.
Seems like it could find its own trouble too, if you let it.
Yeah.
It is impressive though.
All right. You know what? Ryan was looking for something tough to be a frontliner in place of him. This thing definitely fits the bill, but I was concerned about upkeep and also price. How much is he looking to get for the warthog?
Let's see. I gotta find where the pack animal prices are. It would cost 25 gold for a war dog out of the thing, and armor for it would cost 25. So it's 50 gold for an armor class of 13. The
Okay, for a
warthog is
dog.
good. Yeah, for the warthog, his armor class is 13. He'll charge you 45 for it.
And can he be trained to take a pack? I mean, he's big enough.
Yeah, he can take a pack. Yeah.
You got stuff with you. We could adapt to it, or do I have to go looking elsewhere?
A saddle and a bridle for 25. So for 70, you get a saddle and a bridle.
Oh, I'm not planning on riding him. He can just carry around some of my supplies. Okay.
Okay, saddle
So-
bags. That'll be an extra 10, so 55.
All right. It isn't exactly something I can pick up chicks with, train the dog to go act happy around the women. But on the other hand, it's a hell of an upgrade for a frontliner. So I'll take it. 45 more gold, or no, 55 more gold down the damn tubes. That's what it's for, right? To keep me alive.
Yep.
Minus 55. Warthog and Pack. Now I need to come up with a name for the bastard.
He named it
So I'll need
Winston.
to know. Winston. You said he was AC 13. We'll have to get stats, hit points.
Yeah,
and two
yeah,
hits,
I'll
etc.
get you the stats to it.
Okay. So you don't have to run him, I can.
Oh yeah,
But
he's
I am-
yours to run. Yeah.
Well trained or not, I'm not going to take any chances. I'm going to hit him with an animal friendship spell, so he
Okay.
becomes an animal companion.
All right.
Well, the problem with well trained is sometimes they'll obey commands from other people. I don't want that shit.
Yeah. And Torjon would teach you, but he would tell you all the command words. They're all in Elven.
Okay, that's cool. Maybe I'll pick up something else to, woo the ladies with. A cat, and then I'll think about it.
All right.
Well, the bard wanted the dog to do double duty. He was going to teach the dog to go up and be really friendly to people he pointed out and attack people that he wanted them to attack, And so you get a big fluffy dog and acts really nice to the ladies. And then if you need him in combat, he's in combat. But, I was sold on the charges. I was sold when it knocked Karn down and sat on him. That was it. Okay.
If it does it to me
Yeah,
again,
what is
it
that?
shall become bacon. A nice large rasher of bacon.
Mm.
Karn's taking a little bit of pity on that dog with the mange. How bad is the mange look on him?
I mean, it's noticeable.
He asks the guy, why have you let this poor animal go untreated?
Oh, well, our abilities are limited out here.
What is he trained to do?
He's a hunting dog.
So he can track,
Yeah.
but he's sick.
Oh, I wouldn't call him sick. I mean, he can do what he needs to do. I mean, if you've got the means to heal him or take care of it, then by all means.
Well, I wonder why you couldn't be bothered to heal it.
I said our resources are limited.
But you just sold my friend the warthog. Now you have resources.
Yes, to feed my family and put food in our bellies and keep us warm at night.
So what do you want for this dog?
Why, give me a charisma roll, Karn.
Okay. That's not so good. I just rolled a 20.
Oh, I'm sorry. 2d6. So
Oh, the reaction.
yeah.
6 plus I've got a 1 modifier.
Oh, this thing, 15 gold pieces.
And that comes with the leash, of course.
Yes, it comes with the leash.
I'll give him 15 gold.
Okay, you've got Salem the hunting dog.
Salem sounds an awful lot like a witch. But it's what we have to do. And I lay hands on Salem and try to see if I can cure any of its mange with the laying on hands.
I would say that does, yeah, you can see that it does have an effect.
Can't bear to see an animal be abused.
He takes his money and walks back into the tent city.
Now I gotta find Salem a home.
Anything else you guys want to do before the evening hits?
No, I've already bought a dog. I didn't plan on.
Yeah, we'll have to. I'll ask our guide. Does the darn it, restorative bog or whatever place we're staying at? Do they have like a stable I can park 400 pounds of bacon in?
If you drop a gold piece, they probably won't say much. They can just stay in the room.
What? Okay, fine. I'll drop the gold piece.
Well, I mean, or you can put them in a stable.
Yeah, it's gonna cost either way. I'll put him in the. I'll put him in the stable, but make sure somebody puts like a basket of tubers or whatever he likes down in front of him, so he'll be good and not go after anything else.
Anything else you want, Zofan? Anything?
No, Zolfan's just gonna head back.
Okay. So as you guys are resting at the rejuvenating bog with your new animal, some of your new animal companions snuggling up with your warthog and your dog and your fine silk rope. It's a good place to stop. Hopefully we'll have some more people next time and we can continue in the city, as some players have head to the Sailor Seduction. And we can figure out what's going to happen when you meet Remy's father and how you're going to get Ox out of jail.
Nice.
All
right. Sounds like a plan.
Good stuff. Thanks for running.
Are we really gonna save Ox though?
Well, I hope so, if he shows up.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Have a good one.
I appreciate it, guys.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.